On the show today, the Knicks are in the NBA Finals. Jared McCain started a Western Conference Finals game and scored 20 points. Final grades for the Sixers players we haven't got to yet. And a whole bunch of other stuff. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. Brought to you by Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Ricky. BriggsAuction.com. LL Pavorsky Jewelers, where Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners go and get engaged. MortgageCS. Become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP at mortgagecs.com/Ricky. And Surfside, iced tea and vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Ricky. Look, I know it's not officially summer, but it's not officially summer, right? No, it's not officially summer till June, but it's basically summer. And what is the official drink of summer? I'm naming it that. That is Surfside. Which version? Wow, all of them. Come on, man. Surfside is great. It's got to be ice cold. I'm going to make that, some drinks, like you have like a regular drink, you could have it like room temperature or whatever, like a nice bourbon. You could have it neat. You could have it on the rocks. Not Surfside. Got to be ice cold. But when it is, oh man, it's good. It hits the spot. It's only got 2 grams of sugar, all of them, every different variety. Only 2 grams of sugar. They only have 100 calories. They taste great. They look cool in your hand. Surfside. Get it wherever you get your canned cocktails. You could also just order it at drinksurfside.com. You got to be 21. Please enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
Larry, sweetie, the man is here. Say the name. I say the name. I say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy that can see me more clearly this time than he could last time. That is one Mike Levin.
There you are.
Hey, here I am. You know what your glasses reminded me of a little bit? How, like, I think it's in both 80s and 90s, like teen coming of age rom-coms.
Okay.
There would be somebody, guy or girl, in the movie that is like this total nerd. And they would find out that if you just took the glasses off, like, and she's all that, just fucking super hot, and nobody noticed it.
The whole time. That's all you needed to do.
I'm
putting them on. I'm aiming to be less hot. I'm just being recognized too often for being hot. And it's nice to sort of blend in a little bit more now that I have these babies in front of me.
Well, I mean, once the mid to late 90s happened and the Lisa Loeb thing happened, glasses became hot. So, yeah.
I think they still are.
Who knows? So, Knicks sweep their way into the NBA Finals.
Does that make you feel better or worse?
Well, we got several emails on it. Ransom, who is a longtime Ricky guy, emailed us. And he's like, if it doesn't make you feel better, if not, why not? It doesn't make me feel better at all, like even a little bit. I don't think that if just the Knicks were slightly worse, the Sixers would be like in the finals or something. So it doesn't make me feel any better. And in fact, I hate their fans so much that any joy that is brought to them, like I would rather they just lose. But it doesn't make me feel any different, really. Does it for you?
In the misery loves company category,
yeah,
I think it does. I think. For sure was rooting against the Knicks. Here's why it makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
You look around the East.
Yep.
Who feels good about these playoffs? What as far as like optimism going into next year or going into the offseason, let's say, because obviously a lot of things could happen.
Sure.
Going into the offseason, who feels good about anything? It's obviously the Knicks.
Yeah.
Would the next team would the next team that feels good about anything be the Pacers?
Well, no, because I mean they don't even get their draft pick.
Right.
So
But they have a good core, and
they have a good core.
Same
Yeah.
guys coming back that made the finals
Detroit
and everything.
must feel okay.
I don't
right?
think
mean,
so. I don't
no?
think so. I think Detroit feels
Okay.
bad. I feel like they're going to be looking at having to give Jalen Duren a supermax,
Right.
and he was. They were better with him off the floor in the playoffs.
Sure.
Orlando doesn't feel good. But you could make an argument that Toronto feels okay because expectations were pretty low. Charlotte was the hottest team in basketball, and they couldn't get out of the play-in.
Well, how about Boston doesn't feel good about what happened, but do you think they feel bad about looking forward?
No, I think they feel rough. I think they look at how their playoffs have gone in the last few seasons outside of the championship, and I think they feel more negative about their team than I guess they as in Celtics fans.
Yeah.
Than we would assume they feel because we look at them like they have everything.
Right. Okay.
But they did lose to us, which is embarrassing on several levels.
Yeah. I still can't believe that happened.
We did, and it's gonna be a great August when we rewatch that series like losers. But I was basically looking at the whole East and being like, nobody feels good about goddamn anything. I mean, the Wizards could be the third happiest fan base in the sport in the East. I mean, like Miami doesn't feel good. The Hawks feel terrible. They got their doors blown off in the last game.
Yeah.
Even though they won 2 games against the Knicks that nobody else has done yet.
Orlando doesn't feel great. Did you mention them?
Yeah, I did. I mean, the Bulls are the Bulls. Maybe
Yep.
they feel like a new era. The Bucks are trading Giannis, probably are trying to. The Nets, once again, go into the lottery and come up with almost nothing. The Heat don't know what direction they're building around, star hunting for the 15th straight season. I mean, I would say it's probably some combination of obviously the Knicks and then some combo of the Pacers, the Hornets, and the Wizards.
Okay.
So you look
I
around and
just
you're
wish-
like, at least everybody else is pissed too.
Yeah. Yeah. It being the Knicks is tough for me. It just
totally.
really is.
Totally.
I hate them so much.
Only you can't. You have to. Someone was going to win the Knicks or James Harden, and so in either direction, that was going to make you feel upset in some way.
Yeah.
But it also would make you feel happy in some way. I would have rather the Cavs beaten the Knicks.
Me too.
But I can take some joy in seeing them do the same thing that we did, which is win a difficult Game 7, feel like you got the monkey off your back, and then immediately get swept by the Knicks in ways that are deeply embarrassing. And the Cavs got blown out in every same way that the Sixers did. In fact, if not worse, if not quit even more.
Yeah.
They were giving up by the end of that one.
The James Harden thing is amazing. 2 field goals made in Game 7. Like it is pretty. It's almost like a bit. It's an amazing bit he has pulling off. You think at one
it's tricky.
point
He had a couple good late playoff or late series games in the previous 2 series. But if you win, then you get more opportunities to fail in big moments.
Yeah.
And so he has taken those opportunities plenty of times, but he's also succeeded in some. But until you win a championship, I guess no one's ever going to say you're like fully escaped that fate. Whereas like guys like Giannis and Jokic and Tatum and Brown, you can look at them and go, oh, those are clutch players, those are superstars, those are the ones you build around, even if they've only won once.
Each. And in Giannis's case, been out of the first round several times since.
I was thinking that, especially with Giannis, and they're talking about how much a team is going to have to pay for him. He's 31.
Yes.
He has been injured. He was injured most of this year, and then the last few years, most of his career, he's between like 67 and 73, 60 to 73 games a season.
Mm-hmm.
And he's built on athleticism and physicality and not shooting.
Yeah.
I do think the bottom could fall out for Giannis quicker than
at some point. At some point, it'll just happen. Yeah, I think at some point it'll just happen. It's hard to tell when last year was last year. There were so many injuries. It's like either that's a bump in the road or it's like the first sign that it's happening.
I mean, he's like 3 months older than Joel, or younger than Joel.
I think I kind of figured out what, below the bit, because like I have a whole bit about Knicks fans where I rip them, but I think I realized what I find so distasteful about them is that and why I don't like them so much. Like when the Cubs had their long, we never win. Mm-hmm. Everybody kind of felt good for the Cubs when the monkey got off their back.
For sure.
The Red Sox, even to a certain degree. I mean,
early on Red Sox, absolutely, people felt good.
Early on Red Sox, not now, like because what they became when they won a bunch. But Knicks fans went immediately from woe is me to fucking New York. And it's like, oh my God, can we give it a rest? Like immediately, city that fucking never sleeps. It's like, I think it's 2026. Everybody doesn't want to live in New York anymore. So it's just, I find them distasteful. So I would have much rather.
What do you mean everybody doesn't want to live in New York anymore?
Well, there was like this whole, I think there was a period, maybe it's just in media, in my industry at one point, like the whole thing was to like get and live in New York. Like it seemed like, but I don't think it seems that way anymore. Like I don't feel like people's dream now, as much as maybe was 25 years ago, is to just go live in New York. I don't think it's attractive in the same way. Like when
that's true.
Like when they'll say about other cities, like, you're just trying to be New York. It's like, nah, everybody's got restaurants. It's like, you're not the only city with restaurants and corner stores. I can't stand them. Maybe it was the 3 years I was up there. Maybe
I think that contributed to it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you as a former Knicks fan.
Yes.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Do you feel any joy as the former party that used to love the Knicks?
No, you know
you
what?
don't look at John Starks as happy and think that's my guy?
No, man, it was really, the thing about the Knicks was it was really that team. Like it was that team. It was the Oakley, Ewing, Starks up through like the 99 like finals or whatever, like the strike year, like, where they lost to the Spurs. It was that era. I liked all those guys. And then once that went away, I don't know, maybe it's because if you don't live there, it was another time. I don't think it was probably as easy to keep up on teams when you didn't live in the time, but it was really that time. It was really John Starks and then that era. I like down Houston and all those guys, but I don't feel good for them at all. Like not even a little bit. I hate them more than the Celtics and more than every other rival we have. I can't stand them.
I still hate the Celtics more by a lot, but I guess I haven't really reevaluated that feeling after we beat them.
Right.
And what that feels like.
Yeah.
So that'll be a process. But I mean, the Knicks have become the thing that Joel used to say about Boston, which is it can't be a rivalry. They always beat our ass.
Yeah. Now the Knicks are beating our ass every time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's about the Knicks.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't feel good. I don't root for the Knicks. I feel frustrated that they're succeeding on such a level. I don't like James Dolan and don't want him to be happy.
No. Worldwide West, I've met a few times. My dad knew him. Like, seems like a funny guy, like a nice guy, Worldwide West. I don't hate him, I guess.
With all the drama of their front office coming together, they really have done a very good job.
Yes. Leon Rose as like a former agent GM is like pretty impressive.
That's certainly worked out. But no, I will be rooting for anyone out of the West to beat them, and in hopefully a fashion that does embarrass them on ways that they'll never be able to quantify.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Briggs Auction. I can quantify how much I love Briggs Auction. Look, you can interact with them in one of a few ways. You can download the app in the App Store. You can download the app in Google Play. You can just go to briggsauction.com. Also, there's a live auction app called Whatnot that Briggs Auction participates in that sometimes too. Dude, that's an app that I'm got a little bit addicted to as well. After I'm trying to wean myself off of TikTok, Whatnot, they're on there. But what can you get from Briggs Auction? Well, just what I would recommend as you go. There are huge auctions every week with hundreds and hundreds of lots, from collectibles to furniture to clothing to jewelry to art to, electronic equipment, all tons of the lots starting at like as low as $1. Basically, a bunch of shit you didn't know you needed until you saw it. CJ, bring us the Briggs Auction item of the week.
I have two things this week.
Whoa.
Trying to get something for everyone. The first one is
Red Blend?
Kate
Hard
Spade.
and wines, something for everyone?
That's right. Kate Spade Blaze a Trail Len Fox Tote.
I remember when Kate Spade was like the shit. That was probably like 20 years ago. Kate Spade, is she still the shit? I don't even know.
Potentially. I'm not like super locked into the tote space, but I do like mushrooms and designs, and it may be a little trendy right now. Maybe it's having a moment, but I do like this design. It's going for 110. It looks brand new. I don't know like what this retails for normally.
Well, it's got the tissue paper and it's got the tag on it. So
that's right.
it seems newish. Yeah.
And then if you're not into totes, maybe that's not your style. You're probably into buying more Liberty bonds. You want to fund the World War I effort. Get this poster.
Dude.
Tough.
CJ, I should show you some of the old like weird war propaganda posters I've gotten from Briggs Auction.
You got a collection?
Yeah, they actually just sent them back from my office in New York because I left them out there. They're pretty cool. I'll send you pictures of them. Yeah, and they don't always go for very much. What's this one at? 35?
35.
There you go. It's just shit like that. You never knew you could get it. Now they have in-house shipping with Briggs Auction. So you win it, you can get it shipped to you. You could pick it up yourself for free on Saturdays with open pickup, by appointment during the week. If you have a bunch of stuff to get rid of, to sell that has value, boy, you can't get it auctioned anywhere but Briggs Auction. Send an email to info@briggsauction.com. Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. Also, they're located in Delco. Shout out Delco, right across the street from Booth's Corner. So the other thing that happened is the Thunder go up 3-2 on the San Antonio Spurs. Now, Jalen Williams was hurt and AJ Mitchell was hurt. So starting for the Oklahoma City Thunder was Jared McCain, who not only scored 20 points, they hit a couple of backbreaking threes in the fourth quarter, which is, I have to tell you, I know it hurts. I am enjoying it. It is giving me a true rooting interest. I am rooting for him. It is wild to see him start a game, and it is very funny to see I don't know if you see it, but like the coping of he's just not that efficient in these games. And I'm like, he's starting in the Western Conference Finals for like the team that won the championship last year.
Are you seeing maybe are just people that were reading their diet? Our diet is different. I'm not seeing any coping whatsoever. I'm seeing people posting the same Daryl memes and frustrated suicidal ideation that we've been seeing the long time. I definitely am not seeing people go, it's actually not that bad.
Well, I think it's because I am such a relentless Jared McCain poster. I think like maybe I attract some of that stuff in response to it. So I don't know if you saw this, that fucker Wemby, who did not speak after the game, and in one of the games only had one more rebound than Jared McCain. Did you see the video of him sending his little hit out on Jared McCain?
Show me.
Okay, so he gets checked out of the game, and he talks to who's the big goofy white one? Luke Cornett, and was it Biyombo? Is Biyombo on the team? So so you see him whisper to Cornett.
No, that's Mason. That's Mason Plumlee.
Plumlee, yeah. And he whispers Biyombo, and then what do we see? Oh, Mason Plumlee, forearm shiver to the back. Look at this. Here's the replay. What the fuck is that? That was upgraded to a flagrant 1 today, by the way.
It should have been.
And then here is Biyombo putting McCain on his ass as well.
That's cool.
And that's not cool.
It is cool.
And then that pussy.
Good for Jared, man. Good for Jared, honestly.
Well, I like that they're targeting him.
Absolutely. That's playoff basketball. That is what I wanted to see people do to Jalen Brunson on the Sixers. I wish that they were doing some of that.
That pussy Wemby doesn't even talk after the game, avoids after the game for some reason because they lost and because he sent this hit out on Jared McCain. Like, it couldn't be more obvious. Plumlee, Biyombo. The Plumlee one is outrageous.
The Plumlee one is pretty outrageous. Biyombo, I don't think needs to be coaxed into fouling a driver on a floater over him. I think that's probably pretty reasonable.
I just want to see the Plumlee one again.
Ooh, and you can see in the close up of his eyes going after him. It's just not like a way that anyone goes into a screen. It's just not. No one has ever done it that way.
A 20-point game or 13-point game with a minute left. And also, McCain said afterwards, in an interview afterwards. Now, what's funny about McCain is they ask him afterwards, and he's like, he's the happiest guy on the planet.
Sure.
And he's like, haha, yeah, they told me at the free throw line, they have another one coming for me. So I actually just went and stood in the corner.
Damn.
Yes.
That's awesome. No, good for him, man. I mean, good for him. That's
love
cool.
him.
He was out of the rotation for the fucking Sixers.
Yes.
And here he is playing on the best team in the sport, starting in the Western Conference Finals. Good for him. Good for him. And
bad for us.
Bad for us. It is like Daryl has been fired and everybody else is sprinting from blame. And Nick Nurse is, trying to find a way to make out with a guitar and not answering questions or not, seeing anybody. But it feels like we just have nothing to do aside from sit here in our frustration that he's not on the team.
Yes.
Every time I do this, I talk about how excited I am about the 22nd pick. They are theoretically going to get someone really good. There's a bunch of good college decisions of guys that decided to stay in the draft that we want to stay in the draft. Alan Graves, Merez Johnson, Henry Visar, if you're into that, a couple others. But it is the Daryl quote that we sold high. We're confident we sold high, that he was saying in public and in private. And now it's just like, well, that's they made their bed and then we are the ones lying in it. I guess that is what
it's like, the shittiest hotel of all time. They made the bed, now we have to lie in it.
And we became fans of this hotel for some reason.
Yes. When we do a podcast about the hotel.
We do a podcast, we twice a week podcast about this goddamn hotel.
Yep.
And there's just nothing we can do. And that's the thing that's the most frustrating.
Yes.
It really is deeply aggravating that there's just like, we just sit here and be upset is sort of the solution. Is like, until we eventually get over it. And the fucking Isaiah Joe situation indicates that we'll never be over it. No. I've never gotten over anything in my damn life.
No. We can't do the podcast getting over things. Now, you asked what can we do with it. We did get 2 voicemails about what we could maybe do with it. I thought this was the most inventive one to 833 Lickface.
Like CJ, Alabama. This is Jake from Pittsburgh. Longtime caller, first time listener. I was wondering, do you think we could just ask for Jared McCain back? It feels like we should be allowed, now that Morey is fired, like a product recall type thing. Our corporate leadership should just call up the Thunder and say, look, this was regrettable. The trade offer should have never made it out the door, and we're taking full accountability. We fired the responsible party, and we'll even pay for shipping. We'll pay for the plane ticket. Just send him back to the Xfinity Mobile Arena. We'll issue a full refund. Thanks.
What do you think? Do you think that might work?
It's worth an ask.
Okay.
Just a full take backsies.
Just like, hey, our bad.
Our bad.
I like that he's taking responsibility.
We're so sorry. We should not, it's like an Etsy shop. Like, I sent you the wrong one. Let me get it to you on the house.
Yep.
What we meant to send you was we meant to send you a Dembona, actually.
Yeah.
And he just it got lost in the mail, and it turns out, can you just send Jared back, please? Thank you.
Yes, we will. We will pay for shipping.
Yeah.
And then this was the other good McCain voicemail.
Hey guys, this one's specifically for Spike, I think. Maybe Mike too. Now, it's a little odd, a little maybe premature, because I do think the Spurs are going to win the series, but let's say the Thunder win it. Will the McCain trade be 1,000% worth it if somehow he is the reason why the Knicks do not win the NBA title? Because for me, kind of worth it. I hate the Knicks. Fans are the fucking worst. What do you guys think?
So it would have been better if we just beat the Knicks, but there would be some sweetness to Jared McCain hitting a game-winning three that wins the Spurs the title over, or that gets the Thunder the win over the Knicks.
Yeah.
There'd be a little bit of sweetness to
that. No, I agree with that. And I think that would frustrate the Knicks fans in a way that I enjoy.
Yes.
No, I mean, it is worth noting that McCain overall in this series is shooting 25% from three and 36% from the field. For the playoffs, he's shooting totally fine, 37% from three.
Yeah, that's how 3-point shooting works.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And there's been hot games and cold games.
Yep.
He is leading the team in 3-point attempts in the playoffs.
He had 18 in the second half last night.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And he's just doing a bunch of stuff, and you can't say enough about his motor, his effort, his unpredictability on the offensive end.
He's got balls. He's got big balls.
Willing to take shots after he missed them. That stuff matters. Good decision maker. And I want to know. I do think that there should be some sort of open the books, front-facing video or diary entry of what Josh Harris, Daryl Morey, and Nick Nurse are thinking watching these finals, watching these playoffs.
Can I tell you, I think Daryl Morey, because somebody asked me on Twitter, what do you think his answer would be now? I believe he believes the exact same thing at 100%. This point.
I think they probably all do. They probably all do. But there's only so long that you can believe that until you then switch in on a dime and go, well, I mean, it was always a possibility. Like the Sixers, many people decided to draft Jahlil Okafor over, let's say, Devin Booker, a question you posed to me long ago. And it was like, of course we did. He's a better player. And then at some point that became right away, it was like, well, of course Booker is way better.
Right.
And it's like, well, then it wasn't for a while. Otherwise you wouldn't have drafted the other guy. Right. And of course there were other players in that draft. I'm just bringing it up because you brought that up to me one time early in his rookie year when I was like, well, I mean, everyone had Okafor higher until they didn't,
Yes. Yeah.
And so I think that's everyone's going to, the decision makers are not going from, well, one playoffs against on a team where everybody else is making up for their deficiencies. Is not going to deter me from my big brain, beautiful reasoning.
Yes.
And I'm sure the person with the most reasoning is probably Nick Nurse, who was not playing him at all. And that's why I'm just the most frustrated, because Daryl's gone. He did pay for his crimes. This is how the justice system should work. He paid for his crimes, and we will benefit from those crimes by hopefully drafting somebody at 22 that I am allowed to select. But Nurse is still here, and he just gets to keep going on and giving whatever boring quote that he will give, probably during a live broadcast of Summer League when he's courtside talking to whoever is interviewing him, and they ask him about Jared McCain, and he'll say, like, he's a great kid, good locker room guy, heck of a shooter, all the intangibles are right with that kid. We're really happy for him, and we're focused on the guys that are in our building now. Like, he'll say something dumb shit like that, and I'm just going to be like, nothing can be done. We have limited power. And
I demand they come on the podcast and answer for their content. Can you imagine if Daryl comes on the podcast before fucking Nick Nurse or Bob Myers or whoever the fuck they hire? Can you imagine?
I think they probably will.
You think that's what'll happen?
Yes.
You think it'll be Daryl before Nick Nurse or whoever they hire, Bob Myers or Jameer Nelson or whoever the hell it is?
Yeah.
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 Probably. Yeah. Probably.
I think we won't get any of those people until maybe September, early October.
Yes. And
I think Daryl.
Yeah.
You get. Well, after the draft, you get into July, nothing's going on. I could see it.
Yeah, he's got to be sure he's not getting a job first, right?
Yeah. And just to give it a little,
just see what happens.
Let it breathe.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by LL Pavorsky Jewelers. Okay, Mike, do you remember the last pod when I read this email about how everything went well and I didn't know if I should read it or not? I was like, for LL Pavorsky, and I was like, okay. So I got an email from Ethan, who was the person that sent that email. Okay. He noted that the person he got engaged to was Amanda. Now, I don't know if you remember this email from Amanda. It is one of the greatest emails we've ever received. I read it in November. My name is Amanda, and my boyfriend Ethan showed me this podcast because I love the Sixers. We listened to the episode that came out November 26th, the one after the Magic game. First of all, I was under the impression that Spike and Michael are fans of the team, but after listening, it seems like this could not be further from the truth. As an avid fan of the boys, I strongly believe in the importance of all fans having faith in the process. Nick Nurse needs our support, blah, blah, blah. Moving forward, please be nice and maybe have more sound effects like a boink or a car horn or an air horn, and tips on how novice basketball fans can become better at basketball.
No.
Okay. So Ethan, the guy who just got engaged, number 483, wrote in, that is his now fiance. Mm-hmm. He says, this is Ethan. I want you to let you know that my fiance Amanda is the same Amanda who wrote the important feedback email you guys read on the pod in early December. To jog everyone's memory, Amanda sent an email the day before Thanksgiving encouraging you guys to be nicer to the boys and maybe incorporate some more fun sound effects in the show.
This better be that she would like to take that back.
No. He did say, though, that last week we went on a little jaunt to Europe where I surprised Amanda with one of Lee's finest rings.
Very nice.
As advertised, the whole experience with Lee was top-notch. The ring is perfect. Yes. Tonight we plan on torturing ourselves by watching Jared McCain school the Spurs. To add to the serendipity, in Europe, I had the pleasure of meeting Mia, the official poet laureate of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez. At a poetry reading here in Philadelphia. So
a little less wild.
Yes.
That I almost always agree with our 20% of female listeners to this podcast.
3%, yes.
It's 20 and growing.
Right.
And Amanda's email, hearing it back even now, makes me disagree more. I've just never disagreed word for word with every single thing that she said on there. So I value her listenership, but I think it makes me more credible as a presence that I'm just not agreeing with the women all the time.
No, you can't.
This one I don't agree with, but I'm happy that she got engaged to our friend Ethan.
Yes.
And
what about the car horn part? Did you
disagree with that big time? I really do like the music stings in our podcast, and listeners can agree or disagree. I think they're really very nice.
People agree. Yeah.
But the sound effect stuff that I hear on other podcasts, I'm like, it's not good. Not good.
Yeah. It's like you don't want that or something. No. Yeah, okay.
The boing. Gaboinga.
I don't have a boing. No. That would be funny. I do have applause.
No, I don't like any of that.
Yeah, all right. If you want to be like Ethan and Amanda and want to get engaged with an LL Pavorsky ring, you got to make an appointment. He's the best, as you heard. Call 215-627-2252. Email Lee at llpavorsky.com. He always supports our charities, Mama T's Community Fridge and Providence Animal Center. LL Pavorsky Jewelers.
We'll never be nicer to the coach.
Never. And speaking of coach, Joe Mazzulla wins Coach of the Year. I do think he deserved it, though.
He does.
It does. You really got to give out these awards before the playoffs so they don't look
What
ridiculous.
Is the rationale for it? It feels like the NBA has just several things that happen, including the new lottery reform where Memphis is getting fucked because Utah already landed in the top 5.
Yes.
2 years in a row, and you can't do it 3 years in a row. But it's like, but they're not getting the pick. So how does that apply to it? It's just like the NBA has some rules that are so easily fixable.
Yes.
With one conversation.
Yes.
And the league just goes, our hands are tied.
Can't do anything about it.
Can't do anything about it. Our hands are so tied.
Sorry.
It is maddening. It's maddening.
Yeah.
And we should did we do a rules podcast one off season where we talked about rules that should change?
I think we've spoken about it. I don't know if we did a whole podcast, though. It would be fun to do that podcast.
Yeah. I feel like I've wanted that for a while. But like
we can do that.
A lot of it is there was a review in last night's game that just didn't need to happen.
Right.
It just didn't need to happen. It was a review for a flagrant. It did not need to happen. And it's slowing the game down on a massive level.
Well, think of all the
and
things
baseball fixed it. I don't understand why they're so intent on being like, well, we have to, these refs that are here have to go turn around a monitor and look at it and then hover over it and ask somebody to rewind and scrub back and check it a few times while we're going to commercial more often. This all can happen. It can just be happening at the league office.
Well, and you know what baseball did? Baseball just said, hey, there's a pitch clock. There, we fixed it. hey, we have ABS now. There, we fixed it.
And it's and even ABS is fast. I don't like it on it's only used all the time.
Yes.
But the way that the review system works is like, hey, very quickly tap the thing, you look at it, you check, hey, that's 0.3 inches off the plate. Keep it moving. It's really nice. You don't have to go to a fucking commercial every time somebody wants to challenge a strike.
They changed the
nonsense.
reliever rules. They changed the shift rules. They're just like, we're changing them. We're fixing the sport. Like, yeah. The flopping and the complaining, the flopping on one hand and the constant bitching to the refs. All you have to do is say, if you do that, you're like fucking kicked out of the game, and then it would be fixed. Just make the penalty so much so, make it 10 fucking free throws. I promise it'll never happen anymore.
I don't mind the complaining as much as you mind the complaining.
It's brutal. Who likes complaining?
To me, it's just like move it along. Speed it up, move it along, keep the game going, keep the flow going. That's the thing that basketball has going in its favor, and there should be fewer free throws because that slows the game down on a critical level.
Sure.
And the lottery stuff, we should have somebody on that wants to argue with us, because I'm ready to go to jump down somebody's throat.
I think everybody thinks it's stupid. I think everybody thinks it's now.
I think the national media, has all universally agreed that it was a disgrace this year, and that something had to be done because of how bad it was. And that they are all sort of universally agreeing that, well, the thing that had to be done, of course, was the draft pick stuff, which penalizes who the most?
The bad teams.
No, I'm saying that who doesn't get the draft. Yeah, well, the bad teams, but also the fans of the bad teams.
Oh, right.
And the same fucking the same people that do the speak for the fan stuff, when they're like, yes, of course, if you're a real fan of the team, you are generally excited about the idea of hope. But I don't know. I didn't want to watch that Wizards Jazz game this year. And it's like, no, then don't fucking watch it. It is truly like you are robbing from the idea of hope for these fan bases with horrible owners and dipshit owners. And if you want to penalize them, you should penalize the owners. You shouldn't penalize the fans. It's not the owner's money, but it's the fans' picks. You're taking the picks from the fans. You are allowing the owners to just manipulate the system however they want. If there's consequences to finishing in some certain bracket years in a row, or such abject tanking that is embarrassing, the owners should be penalized, not the players on the team who are just trying to compete for their livelihoods, or the fans who care about the picks going forward, because that's the only hope they have of rooting for a franchise that matters.
I don't know if you would argue with it, but the person that I know in the national media that understands what they're doing the best is KOC, who has written several articles about it and broken some stories about it. So if we want to do lottery stuff, I think he would be probably pretty good at it. We never finished grading the Sixers. We have 4 players left.
Let's grade them.
We should do it. Okay. Before we get to the big 3, we did not do Justin Edwards. Justin Edwards is a tough grade this year. I think he is. I really personally, I don't know Nick Nurse. I really have a distaste for him as a coach right now, because he always talks about how much he loves Justin Edwards. And it seems like Edwards was the guy that was the most in and out of the rotation in a way that I didn't understand all season long. Yeah. But he's one of I'm sure there's a quote somewhere where Nick Nurse says, I wish I had 18 Justin Edwardses on the team or something like that, and then he won't play for 6 games.
Yeah.
I don't know how to grade Justin Edwards for this year. I think there were I guess I would say C if nothing else, but I was expecting more, but I don't even know if I blame him for not giving more. I felt like he had good games and bad games, and that's it. I don't have much of a handle on what we saw from Justin Edwards this year.
Your good game, bad game analysis is growing.
Thank you.
It's your
it's
how you
good
feel about
play,
Grimes as well.
For Grimes, which is accurate, is the best description of his play.
Edwards, I think, changed his game. He played 64 games this year. I'm sure a quarter of those are just garbage time, whatever.
Yeah.
Played fewer minutes than last season because of the predicament they were in last season. But he did up his 3-point rate and he upped his 3-point percentage. He was up to 37.2 from 3 this year after 36.3 last year.
And how
pretty
many
negligible difference, but willing to take those.
Yeah.
It's just, does he do other stuff? He's either got to be a really, really good 3-point shooter, which he's okay.
Yeah.
He gets it up quick, which is important. Or he's got to be able to, can you steal me more rebounds? Can you penetrate a little more and make the right pass and think quickly? And I think that's going to come with time. I think he is a rotation player in the league, even if that rotation is like 9th or 10th on most teams, but he has wing size. He's willing to shoot it. He tries on defense. He's not naturally gifted as an athlete or with like supreme length. And that bears out in like looking at his pretty mediocre rebounding numbers. But I think he's useful. I think he is a like replacement level type of person, and he's 22, and it would not surprise me when he's 27 that he is contributing more. Yeah, I mean, or like Julian Champagny, like doing exactly what Julian Champagny's doing. A little bit smaller than Champagny, but former Sixer who is now playing major minutes and scoring 12 points in 4 minutes in the first quarter of the Western Conference Finals for the Spurs. So I like Edwards, and I think he is very useful as one of the second or third wings off the bench on a good team. And if he keeps improving as a shooter and maybe adds a couple other elements to his game, there's just no reason why he shouldn't be playing. And that it just felt like the season was done with just no foresight into the playoffs. And they got to the playoffs and they're like, we can't play anybody. And we didn't really even try.
Because it would have been nice to be able to play Justin Edwards more in the playoffs because he can shoot and will shoot. Yeah. And they were missing that to a great degree. So
I'm fine. I'm fine with giving him a C. He was mostly a non-entity, but I do blame Nurse for some of that.
To be clear, I like him a lot. I don't.
Yeah. You like him more than I do.
Yes, I think he as a player is somebody, given what he could be, is somebody that you would commit to more during the regular season because of the player that you think that he could be, because that's a player they could use. How about Paul George?
Well, CJ, our friend CJ is trying to send us a little bit of a message.
We needed like another 4 minutes.
That's what I thought.
We'll get to him.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, because we hit LL at like 34.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
CJ.
But the big three coming up is a big section you don't want to interrupt with an ad break.
So you want me to do it before? Well, you're the producer. I'll do it. Do you want me to do it now? All right, producer. I should let the producer produce. I am sorry. It's good reasoning.
It's nice to let people behind the curtain from time to time.
Yeah.
And usually CJ is behind the curtain giving us the finger.
Yes. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by MortgageCS. Look, this is not an interruption. This is a help for your life, because if you're going to buy a house, if you ever bought a house, if you're going to buy another house, if you've never bought a house, somebody's got to help you get the mortgage. MortgageCS is who you want to help you get the mortgage, because they will make the process easier, quicker, more efficient, less stressful, and give you a better chance of getting the house. We got this email from Daniel. Dear Spike, Mike, CJ, and Daryl, I figured I'd have to write in, and question mark by Daryl, I figured you'd have to write in a review of one of the sponsors to finally get an email read on the podcast. After listening to the ads for years, I finally had a chance to use MortgageCS when my wife and I bought a house a few months ago, and we were incredibly impressed. When we knew we were going to start house hunting, I took Spike's advice, and my wife and I set up a call with Ben and sent them all of our documents on a Monday. Like every other person that writes in about MortgageCS, my wife was initially skeptical about using a mortgage broker that I had heard about from a basketball podcast. But after a whirlwind week, she agreed they were great. We found a house the following weekend in a very competitive market and needed to make our best offer within 24 hours. Ben and Alec were in constant communication with us and our realtor throughout the process, even had a call with the seller, also a realtor, on a Sunday night to show them how strong our offer was. Our offer was accepted the next morning, and Ben and Alec were then very helpful in talking through locking in our rate. As an aside, we had called 2 other mortgage brokers that weekend just to compare rates. Neither of them called us back until the following week, and their rates were worse. While I fear they may burn out because they seem to work all hours every day of the week, Ben and Alec were awesome, and we strongly recommend MortgageCS to anyone looking to buy a house. NMLS 1464766 for life. is the way they signed the email. I can't say it any better than that. If you want to reach out to MortgageCS, as was said there, Ben will reach back out to you. He is the CEO. He's always got his cell phone with him, 267-391-7425. If that feels like an invasion of privacy, you can just go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky and set up a conversation there. If you don't believe me, come on. But if you don't, just go to Google, see all the 5-star reviews. Again, mortgagecs.com/Ricky or Ben, call or text him at 267-391-7425. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. MortgageCS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. Our loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more information. Paul George.
He of the 25-game
it's very hard
suspension
to parse,
refreshment.
Yes. So many of the Sixers are hard to parse this year.
The parsers.
Yeah, because Paul George, once he came back, played better than he's ever played.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
But also he had a 25-game suspension for an illegal substance, looked bad beforehand, and is still making $60 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he looked pretty good. I almost want to give him a C+.
Well, he started off this season shooting very poorly from 2. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And
yes, I
was
do.
taking a ton of long twos, contested long twos, getting sort of bothered by physicality on those shots. And then as the season went on, you could start to see him survive a little bit more contact and even get to the rim once he got back from his little sabbatical that he had there. And he was a super helpful player in, I'm looking at his stats, his splits month by month on Yahoo, and they've arranged the months in such a strange way. Oh, they arranged them by year. So it's January, March, April, November, December. And it was breaking my brain as I was talking. It should be November, December, January.
Right. Instead of they're doing it by year rather
by
than
the year that it is. That's not actually super helpful, my guy. But yes, super low field goal percentages November, December, and then into March and April he was shooting a lot better, and that continued in the playoffs. And he's just a very helpful player to winning. And I think that when Paul George was
he's like a $60 million Justin Edwards realized.
I mean, a little bit. He is still such a good defender. He's still such a good and useful defender. He was the best defender on this team, I think, by a lot. And having a guy that can defend multiple positions, which he did, like 1 through 5. Like he defended 1 through 5. He defended Cat, who played 5 a lot for the Knicks, and he was probably the best or second best on Brunson. That's really, really hard to do, and he's 35 years old. And he at 36 now, just turned 36. Happy birthday. And he can create a little bit, nice secondary creation. He is exactly the kind of player that the Sixers really could have used forever. And now they have him, and he's old. And he never had
best isolation perimeter player on the team.
And I mean, yeah, I would still say Embiid, but
no, perimeter. I said perimeter player.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yes. But he's just old and he has low motor. If you replaced Embiid with some high energy center like Jalen Duren or Nick Claxton or somebody like that, or you replace Paul George with more of a quick twitch athlete that was flying around, OG Anunoby, like that was flying all around, that's getting to stuff, that has extra effort, that kind of thing, that would be great. But it's the two of them together that are just kind of an energy suck as far as can you survive when the intensity ratchets up, when constitutionally these guys don't have enough second, third effort, always being the first ones to a loose ball, and it trickles all the way down. And so Paul is a great player, and I wouldn't give him away just to give him away. I think if they plan on bringing guys back next season, it would feel like a run it back type thing, which people might not love. but he's a good player, and if they don't have him, then they'll miss him.
Especially if they pay to get off him.
Yeah.
Like it does like you do get to the point where if you're trading him, you're like, okay, how is this helping us? If he had 4 years left on his deal, I could get it without like a direct, seeing it right in front of you.
Yes.
2 years makes it a lot more tough.
Yes.
Because the first year you think you're just getting whatever back to get out from under it. And you're worse because you have whatever you got to get out from under it instead of Paul George. And then the next year,
fat expiring contract.
It's last year anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I would give early season Paul George like
An
a
F.
C.
An F.
I'll say
season Paul George was fucking terrible.
It wasn't good, but it was still.
D.
If you're giving him the grade based on his contract, then you're going to come out not feeling good about anything. But he was a lot better than he was last year, even earlier this season. And the last few months of the year after the suspension and into the playoffs, I think I'd give him like an A-. So maybe you land on like a B area for Paul for the full season.
But
even
you
though
have
he played
to you have to put
games.
you have to dock him for the fucking suspension.
So here's the thing. I like the suspension and think everyone should do it. I think that's I think you want this guy to be fresh? Take 25 games.
Okay.
Take 25 games off for not an injury? Everyone should be doing that. I'm doing that. I'm doing that next season. I come back fresher than ever. But let me just say, Paul George, I had an argument with Sixers Adam over text yesterday where he's
a stubborn little fucker, man.
So am I.
Really
we all are. All of us are.
But
he's very.
But
I think he was
Adam.
arguing the
I'm gonna
more.
need him to back down.
He was arguing the more conventional wisdom point about Paul George at this point, which is he's a negative asset. He has negative value. And I was just arguing the opposite because I think
on some level in a trade respect, though, he's talking about
in a trade respect. Yeah.
Well, he's probably right there, though.
He's probably right, but only because of the salary that you're talking about just limits the amount of teams you can trade with him for.
Sure.
There's just not many people that have any kind of matching salary with George, so it just limits your options.
Yeah.
But I do think that as far as what the value proposition that he holds for another team, I think he is a very wanted player type. And if a team has salary that can make that make sense, I do think that Paul George would be an attractive player in this offseason. I was looking at the East again as sort of similar discussion that I was having earlier in this podcast. What Eastern Conference playoff teams would want Paul George? I think
just
every one of them except for the Celtics and the Knicks.
Well,
I think the Pistons would.
You mean just add them to the mix?
No, I think I think could conceive of a trade for them or could need him exactly in his skill set. The Pistons need shooting and they need to not sacrifice defense. So the Cavs have been looking for a wing for forever. And if you constructed a trade around, I was floating the idea of like, could the Cavs hate what happened so much that they would trade Evan Mobley for Paul George and a couple picks? Probably not.
How about Jared?
But Jared Allen and
Jared
stuff.
Allen.
Jared Allen and stuff. Dennis Schroeder, like matching stuff.
But
I think
they're gonna
possible.
They're gonna fucking add Paul George to James Harden?
I think they could.
No,
I think they could.
No,
I don't know if it's going to happen. Only one thing is going to happen. So I'm probably wrong to say it, but I do think that when they look at the big board of who can we acquire to fill this big hole in our wing depth, Paul George I think is the answer or one of the answers. And you can only say Trey Murphy III so much because everybody is saying Trey Murphy III, and only one team is going to get him, or he's going to stay on the Pelicans. The Cavs, I think the Raptors absolutely need shooting and would find a way to, Jakob Poeltl, RJ Barrett, quickly, some combination of that. The Hawks, would they want to trade, Risa Shea and who was I talking about? Who was it? There was somebody else. Risa Shea and like Dyson Daniels if they were unhappy with how he was guarded in the playoffs. Their Buddy Hield, some combination of that. Corey Kispert, who was out of the rotation.
You think they're going to trade you Risa Shea for fucking Paul George?
Risa Shea's not that good. He's number one pick, so he carries that with him. But like, he was
Paul
number one
George
pick in a
plays
bad.
30 games a year.
For sure. I'm not saying that everyone's going to do it. I'm saying that you could make the case on a bunch of them, and I think his value is higher than people think, or his desired skill set is higher than people think. The Magic, obviously, they need shooting.
Can I add one other
and I think
level
the Heat
to this?
could. Go ahead.
Let's say you're right. I don't think you are, but let's say you're right. Let's say the team wanted to do it. The team is also paying the public tax of people believing that Paul George is one of the 3 worst contracts in the NBA, and you got to be the dumb fuck GM to trade for him. Like, there is a shame that comes with trading for Paul George.
You think? I don't think that's the case.
No, I do think it's the case.
I don't think so. I really don't. I think if you're saying we're bringing Paul George in, he's our best player, then I think that's fine. But I think he just beat the Celtics and was better than Tatum and Brown in the series. And that's cool. I loved it. It was awesome. And I don't think that the Sixers should just trade him just to get off of him. I think that he is still a useful player. And in a world where Embiid wasn't here, I'd be happy to have him. I just think having both is a drag on the whole team as a situation. But plenty of people can convince themselves of way dumber things than James Harden and Paul George could work together in a world where you also have Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. I don't know. I was just entertaining the idea because there are way fewer really good defensive wings that can also shoot and handle and create. There's just fewer of them. There's just way fewer than they exist. And PG has become a pretty good locker room guy. He doesn't have a reputation about being like a dickhead. He's just a little bit aloof in a way that we've made fun of him for, and everybody else has as well. So I just think that when teams get desperate, and a lot of teams in the East, I think, are or will, the options winnow down, and somebody I think could say that Paul George is the answer. So I think he's got better value than commonly held wisdom believes. You don't seem to believe it. You're with Sixers Adam. That's fine.
No, I actually believe, and you're not. I am saying this. I'm saying this thing is charming. You will not take it as charming. Okay. I'm saying it as charming. Is you feel very Philadelphia fan right now, where you're like, I know my plan. We'll trade our player we don't want at all.
Sure, that's every fan base. That's not just Philadelphia. That's every fan base. But that's why I'm saying if people think the money's too much, which it is, of course, for the guy he is now, of course the money's too much. But you have to take something of their shit to make it worthwhile. And I think if the Sixers had wanted more depth in a Jared Allen, Max Strus, Dennis Schroeder type of way, that trade coming back could help the Sixers as far as depth goes, could hurt them as far as high-end talent goes. You get a more reliable Embiid replacement. There's versions of it that I think would make sense for both. Or there's not. And you just keep him and go, maybe he'll play 55 games this year, and that's fine. Because I do think he is a good player. I just think team-wide they should be really focusing on the Maxey VJ side of things less than the PG Embiid side of things.
Yes, in their building for the future. And that goes back to...
And the present, I would say. Not just the future, but the present.
Sure. But that goes back to, I think Embiid is more problematic in that than Paul George is.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's 2 years. It really is. Like,
yeah.
If he was just an expiring contract, then someone would go, well, we're not going to trade for him. He's an expiring contract. We only have him for a season. And if he's got 1 year left, and it's like, well, he's got 2 years left. There's sort of you can't, either, heads I win, tails you lose style kind of argument for this kind of player, which is a player that costs a lot that had an expiring contract for a while. We saw some of it with Tobias. And so someone would have to go, yeah, I'd love to have Paul George as a anchor wing on my roster for 2 years. A lot of people don't have the contracts that can make that make sense, or a lot of people don't have a reason for the Sixers to make that trade. But I do think that...
Would you trade him for Jimmy Butler? Straight up. Jimmy Butler's got 1 year left on his deal.
I have to think about it. I mean, I love Jimmy. Who knows what he's going to be like after being this injured.
Yeah.
In a world where I'm the same guy that wanted to move the franchise after they got swept by the Knicks, trading him for Jimmy gets you closer to just moving fully on from everything.
Yeah.
Faster.
And you could probably trade Jimmy at the deadline.
Sure. I would say the part of me, the non-emotional part of me would say, well, I guess there is no non-emotional part of me. It's on both sides. I would say in the world of like Maxey VJ, like keep letting, let's get to that era faster. Then I would say, yeah, probably for Jimmy Butler, because he also could be helpful. But if he's not helpful, then it's a year. It's
sooner. Fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's whatever. But maybe we actually play Justin Edwards next year.
Could be.
Here's what I propose. I propose we just start the next podcast with Maxey and Embiid.
Okay.
Rather than doing it now, because it's such a long conversation on both of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to start it at the end of the podcast.
That's fine.
So next time, even if Jared McCain scored 47 points, we'll do that after we do Embiid and Maxey.
Okay. I just want to say, because of the Chris Sanchez stuff, if you're not a Phillies fan, Phillies lefty Chris Sanchez
Chris Sanchez.
He just passed the franchise record for most scoreless innings in a row.
Which was a record that was around for 115 years. Grover
Insane.
Cleveland Alexander had it. Unbelievable. Insane. 41 and 2/3, I think, was the record, and he's up to 45 now.
Obviously, baseball is a very different kind of sport than basketball, but Chris Sanchez becoming this good,
it's a miracle,
is so improbable.
Yes.
He is like if Jakar Sampson became one of the best players in the league.
Yes. We were talking about with Jack today, like 3 years ago, they were talking about like DFAing him.
He's just a big, tall lefty, skinny as shit, couldn't throw strikes. And then he somehow learned how to command all of his pitches and also throw like 5 to 10 miles an hour faster.
Well, and he throws the best changeup in baseball now.
And it's wild that he got this good. And any number of projects that the Sixers have had over the years, imagine if they just become like Giannis. It's a different kind of deal, but it's unbelievable.
There's nothing even. Can you think of an NBA comp? I don't even think. I forget about the Sixers. I don't know if I can think of an NBA comp.
I mean, like, it's different because he's pitching once every 5 days, so you're never going to be like this. But it is kind of Giannis-like.
But Giannis was the 12th pick in the draft or 13th pick in the draft.
No, he was like 17th, I think.
Oh, okay, still.
But but him being as good as he was and as raw as he was the 15th pick in the draft.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Jokic was on it. To me, it's less about. It's about like raw tools that forever and ever just kept not for different guys. Like, well, yeah, he has all the raw tools, but like, no, this kind of guy never makes it. Never just like figures it out all of a sudden. And they did.
Yeah.
And that's pretty wild.
Yes.
It's really very cool.
He's so good. He's so good that when you watch him, I just expect him to not give up runs now. You know, it's weird when he got away with a couple of them tonight, but because that ballpark in San Diego is like they're playing in it's enormous. Like the outfield's so big, but just incredible. Man, when he finished up the 7th inning tonight, just fucking pumping, and I love how excited he gets. I love him.
I am going to the game on Friday, Phil's Dodgers. Exactly.
Oh, there you go. You're going to get Wheels. Get Wheeler. Yeah. It's Wheeler, Luzardo, and then Painter this weekend. So.
Nice. A couple good starts in a row for our friend Andy Painter.
Yeah, it doesn't quite pass the eye test yet, but you know, he has to figure out a whole new way to pitch because everybody hits his fastball now. So
yeah.
All right, we will talk to you next time. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah. You know, like face.